The United Nations General Assembly, which has voted overwhelmingly to grant the Palestinians the status of a non-member observer state. Now, this is a largely symbolic vote, but it implicitly recognises a Palestinian state and, importantly, it allows them to join UN agencies. Now, Israel and the United States, not surprisingly, voted against. They say that it could hold back a peace settlement, and the UK abstained for the same reason.
In favor, 138.
The result is clear. The consequences of the vote are not.
Abstentions.
It was expected the United Nations General Assembly would overwhelmingly back the idea of enhanced Palestinian status. And it did. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas made his case, insisting he was trying to save the peace process, not end it.
We did not come here to add further complications to the peace process, which Israel's policies have thrown into the intensive care unit. Rather, we came to launch a final, serious attempt to achieve peace.
And unfortunately, it will raise expectations that cannot be met, which has always proven to be the recipe for conflict and instability. There's only one route to Palestinian statehood, and that route does not run through this chamber in New York.
The new title means the Palestinians can use international forums, such as the International Criminal Court, to pursue Israeli soldiers and leaders alleging war crimes. Countries disagreed on whether the upgraded status would help kickstart peace negotiations.
In voting today for the recognition of Palestine as a non-member observer state of this organization, France has voted in favor of the two-state solution, of two states for two peoples, Israel and Palestine, living side by side in peace and in security.
Progress towards a just and lasting two-state solution cannot be made by pressing a green voting button here in this hall, nor does passing any resolution create a state where none indeed exists or change the reality on the ground.
Unlike at the Security Council, where the bid for Palestinian full membership was blocked last year, there's no veto in the General Assembly, and the two-thirds majority vote needed was easily accomplished. Even before voting began, there were already celebrations on the streets of Ramallah. Now Palestinians are more happy, following a decision they imagine could bring them a step closer to an independent state. Perhaps it's fitting that the ballot that went in their favour was held on Palestinian Solidarity Day.
Israel says the Palestinians are trying to bypass peace negotiations by the campaign to upgrade their UN status. The Palestinians insist that their win in the UN is not meant to replace peace talks with the Israelis, but it has given them a strong hand if peace talks do resume. They now have overwhelming international endorsement for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state. But Israel still controls the West Bank, East Jerusalem and access to Gaza. And for the Palestinians, real independence could yet remain an elusive dream.
We feel happy because we knew that there is a lot of countries, the immoral minority will vote against, but the moral majority will be with the Palestinian question and the Palestinian cause.
The U.S. is part of that minority he referred to. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton called the outcome of the UN vote unfortunate and counterproductive.
We have been clear that only through direct negotiations between the parties can the Palestinians and Israelis achieve the peace they both deserve.